This Could Get Dicey is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast, so things can sometimes get a little, well, you know. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello, and welcome to This Could Get Dicey, a D&D podcast where a group of buds get to unwind from their 9-to-5s and step into the world of Drew Gala. My name is Destiny Nieto, I play Lü'mis Bjorn, and before things get a little too dicey, I'd just like to say it's a beautiful day to revisit a movie that you're a little bit anxious won't hold up, but is way better than you remembered.
Everyone guess what it is.
Oh, another guessing round. Let's do it.
I think it's the animated classic, The Road to El Dorado.
I was going to say Titan AE.
Ooh, that's a good one.
For some reason, I thought Alex was going to say The Rookie.
That's a great film.
But he didn't, so I'm going to say The Rookie.
Great. No. None of those. Nacho Libre.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding me?
Nacho Libre
You had doubts?
The reason I'm married.
I just haven't.
Literally, same.
Oh,
I was just so nervous because I loved it so much, and I was just like, "Is it one of these?" I'm ashamed of myself for having doubts. It was so good.
I'm gonna tell Jack.
I ate some bugs. I ate some grass. I used my hands to wipe my tears. Like,
Beautiful writing.
Phenomenal.
Can't we just have like a salad or something?
One of my favorite lines.
Dead guy duties. Oh my god, I could go on and on. I'm very happy you revisited that film, and I'm also super happy they never made a sequel to that.
Me too.
Same.
Well, it was back when like sequels were not as prevalent, I feel like, as they are now.
Well, great choice, Destiny. My name is Alex Villarreal. I play Ellis Vindove, and today is a beautiful day to TGIF. I know it's Wednesday for you, audience, but it's Friday for us, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go to the TGIF
So did you go to? Yeah.
You know what? I've only ever been to a TGIF Fridays.
Wait, we're all doing it. I did it first. TGI Fridays. Because if you
it's funnier to say TGIF Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like saying ASAP as possible.
Or saying like, thank God it's TGIF.
I know about that sticky note on your fridge, Kenny, that says we need ice cream ASAP as possible.
Classic.
It's been on my fridge for over a decade, I think.
Oh my god.
But it's been a long week. Mm-hmm. It's about to be a long night.
In a good way, though.
In a good way. But yeah, happy Fridays, man.
Happy
TGI recording
Friday.
night. Congrats, Alex. You've made it successfully
Thank
to the
you.
end of a week. Hello, everyone. Oh, were you going to say something else?
That was a little condescending.
Congratulations.
This is speaking to someone who doesn't have a job at the moment.
Baby.
I don't have like a regular job when we're recording this, so you know, it's hard for me to put myself in your shoes. Give me a month. Hello, I'm Kenny Chilton, and I'm playing Emil Mazak, and it's a beautiful day to sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday. Everyone join in. It's birthday to you.
I'm not going to sing to it's going to be hard to sync up.
Happy birthday, dear Becky. Happy birthday to Becky.
Wow, Alex, good luck syncing that. Like, I
That's gonna
know
be so
that it
fun
should
to
line
edit.
up.
But everyone, it's our favorite DM's birthday week. Just wanted to put it in your ears whenever you hear this, probably a month from now.
That I had a birthday.
It's Becky's birthday, and send some love her way. Share the podcast with someone.
Share the podcast.
Happy birthday, Becky.
Thank
She
you.
just turned 24.
I wish my tummy would feel better probably if I was 24 still.
Wait, do we have any 20-year-olds left on this podcast? Oh, Alex doesn't turn 30 till May?
What are you
No, you
talking
turned 30
about?
already?
No, I'm the youngest of the four of us.
You're the youngest. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, we're all no longer 20s. That's
This
crazy.
is mad embarrassing, y'all.
We're 30. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Well,
I'm too old.
I'm self-conscious now.
I'm
too
not.
old.
That's turning 30. Here, hey everyone at home. Turning 30 means no shame, no regrets,
No pain.
lots of pain.
No gain. Lots of pain. No gain.
No gain. Still, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Becky Schmader. I am the game master for this Kick It Dicey, and it's a beautiful day to make a chocolate cream pie. I really hope I haven't said that one before.
Even if you
I
have.
don't think you have.
Even if. I'm so glad you said it again.
I think chocolate cream pie is probably number 2 on my list of favorite cream pies. What's everybody's favorite?
What's your first
Specific cream pie?
You said specifically cream pie. What's your
Yeah. It would probably go number 1, coconut cream pie, 2, chocolate cream pie, 3,
Damn.
like a Boston cream pie. I like cream pies.
I've had a lemon one
I like
before.
custard.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I've had
like
a lemon one. That
or
was really
like
good.
a key lime pie. Ooh.
Key lime is good.
Well, key lime's not a cream pie. That's different.
What would you classify it as?
Like a custard.
Like, yeah, cream and custard is
No, these are all different. I don't like this. I don't like this categorizing pies.
You're so
No.
hard line.
Well, I think I would
pies.
be less upset if you didn't say coconut cream pie was your top cream pie. When banana cream pie is right there.
Yeah, I know. Banana cream pies. I wasn't done. I love cream pies.
It wasn't
Sorry, we
made.
interrupted you.
What are y'all's favorite cream pies?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
I guess banana. I'm not really a sweets person.
I'm also just stuck on that we're categorizing into like cream pie specifically. Like, what's your favorite pie?
Pecan.
If we open
Or-
if we open it up, it's too chaotic. Apple is mine.
Well, okay, I'm going back to key lime pie. What's pumpkin pie?
Does
Thanksgiving.
pumpkin pie? Good question.
Like,
pumpkin pie-
that's not a cream pie. So key lime and lemon meringue wouldn't be cream pies either.
That's fair. Hey man, there's to me there's like fruit pies and then there's like goo pies. Fine. What's your favorite goo?
What's your favorite
goo pie?
Well,
Pumpkin
is
pie.
pecan a goo pie?
Yeah, pecan's totally. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
goo up
Well, I
in
know
there.
If it's not
not
gooey,
goo.
something's wrong.
This is interesting because you don't classify cakes like this.
Until
Right.
now.
Hey, if you give me some time, I'll start coming up with subgenres of cake.
All right, we'll save that for next episode. Who's ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Okay.
Yeah, me.
Last we left off, our adventurers had found themselves in a prison below the collector's chateau where they met a grung, for those at home that's a frog person, named Timber. Together you all managed to escape after finding the collector's keys and scaring away the mechanical humanoids after violently slamming one against the prison cell. You all, along with Timber, camped outside the chateau, unsure if you should go inside and get any remaining items of interest. In the morning, you all awoke and saw that climbing out of the broken window of the dining room are the chef mechanical humanoid, the candy shop mechanical humanoid, and the attendant mechanical humanoid from the knowledge gained room. The 3 mechanical humanoids look around in shock and awe at the world around them. They wobble back and forth, walking around the area. The chef mechanical humanoid looks at the bushes outside, picking one of the leaves from it and staring at it with intense focus. The attendant mechanical humanoid stares up at the sky, and the candy shop mechanical humanoid shouts out to you all, "Welcome to the candy shop!" waving its ice cream scoop hand. They are approximately 50 to 100 feet, kind of away from you all as they're sort of walking around, but they're a good distance away from you all, and that's what you all wake up to here.
I'm turning to my party and Timber. I know we kind of Lü'mis just kind of fucking iced that one little feller. What do you think we should do with these other ones?
There might be someone who would benefit from them at the academy or with the delegation if we brought them. I don't know. It feels weird to just leave them. They're so innocent.
I mean, I know we were just kind of in the thralls of a big, crazy, spooky house that was trying to kill us, and then we killed the person who lived there and stuff. Y'all haven't seen one of these before, right?
Never.
No, this was the first time.
No, I haven't seen one either.
Lü'mis, when you fucking killed that one, like, was it, like, alive?
I don't think... am I alive?
I'm talking about the fact, like, yes, yeah, I get the metaphysical, as in, like, that you're not made of nuts and bolts and other stuff.
I think the word you're looking for is sentient.
Well, they kind of seem like half sentient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can respond to us, but they seem pretty limited.
Yeah, however, I will say there's no life to them. I tried to absorb some life force from one of them when I had stabbed them with my root, and nothing happened. So I don't think they're alive in the way that we're alive. It feels wrong to me to just leave them here. Who knows what could happen? Did you see when Lü'mis, when you killed the other one? I whisper, when you killed the other one, it had like a little glowy red orb inside, like we saw in the collector's room. So something unique and is powering them. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, maybe they're not, alive, but they have this life force.
I think we're all in agreement that they're, too cute and stupid to be left alone. But should we either A, ask them if they want to come with us, or B, should we just ask them? Should we explain to them that hey, look, sorry, your master's dead, but you're free now. What do you want to do?
I'd be interested to see what they have to say. As we turn to head that way, can I look at Timber? I don't know Timber's pronouns. He?
He, yes.
What Timber's, what is he thinking as we're having this conversation about these robots?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Nah.
Okay.
7.
I think you all were talking and he chimed in to say no, I haven't seen these things before, but then I think he kind of wandered away or sat back down, kind of realizing maybe he's not part of this conversation. He's also 3 feet tall and you all are all pretty tall, so I think standing huddled or in a group, he feels a little left out.
Okay.
Anyways, from the conversation, so he doesn't really.
All right. Can we head over to where the robots are and huddle them up?
Yeah.
Bring it in, everyone.
Hey fellers. How's everybody feeling this morning? And I wink to them.
They kind of waddle together and look at all of you as you come. The candy shop one just keeps waving its ice cream scoop hand. The one that you recognize to be the attendant that was in the knowledge gained room looks at you all. Oh, we found the master's body sometime in the wee hours of the morning. The master's no longer with us.
Yes, so unfortunately, we're just, we're not gonna beat around the bush here. We came here to talk to your master, and then your master tried to kill us. And so, in self-defense, unfortunately, we killed him. We're sorry about that. Y'all seem to have to speak very highly of him, but long of the short of it now is technically, y'all don't have a master anymore.
One of them, the one that you were just talking to, puts its hand up and huddles the mechanical humanoids together, bring it in. And you hear them kind of muttering to themselves, the one with the ice cream scoop still kind of shaking its hand. Then they turn back around to face you all. We are unsure what this means, not having our creator with us anymore. We are happy to have freedom, though, and no longer see you as any sort of threat.
That's great. I think, I think I can speak for a majority of us that we might have taken a fondness for y'all. Y'all seem to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, you seem like lovely humanoids, mechanical. What do you want to be called?
Oh. We don't know. What do you want to call us?
Well, that's the funny thing, is that we've never met anybody like y'all before. And even though your creator did try to kill us, there's no denying that he was incredibly smart. But part of having freedom, like on a sort of base level, is you kind of get to decide that for yourself. I don't want to fry out your little brains or anything, but do y'all have names?
Oh. They huddle back together again real quick. And they think about it. You can hear them kind of just speaking to each other. And then they turn back around to you all. We don't have names. And our little brains do feel warm thinking about naming ourselves.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
No, bad warm, bad warm.
I thought you meant like butterflies,
Hot.
kind of.
No, hot.
Oh, okay, don't worry.
Well, let's just deal with this one thing at a time.
Ouch.
Freedom first. Freedom is secured. You have some autonomy here, but we would love for you to travel with us back to Mistfall, which is a nearby city. We can, on the way, talk about your fate and identity and all of that good stuff. If you want to stick with us for a little bit.
You all have been nice to us, mostly. They look at Lü'mis, perhaps knowing the atrocities you did to their friend.
Lü'mis points at their friend.
We will travel with you all, as we feel a little lost in the world.
That's super fair. You're happy to travel with us. By the way, my name's Ellis.
Ellis.
These are my friends, Emil and Lü'mis, and this is our new friend Timber, who your master was keeping locked up in the dungeon as well.
Emil, Lü'mis, Timber.
Mm-hmm.
We are here.
We have a little bit more business to do before we hit the road. There's some stuff inside that we wanted to take care of.
Should we bring emergency swords?
Yes.
Oh,
For
yes,
sure, for
you
sure.
Should. It's important that we point out that y'all, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, y'all haven't left this house before, right?
What? No.
Okay, that's fine. So the world, what we're in right now is the outside. The outside has the potential of being pretty mean. There's lots of mean stuff out here. There's also a lot of nice stuff and good stuff, which I'm excited for you to see. But if y'all do have emergency swords to help protect you and your friends and your compatriots, that's probably smart.
We will bring emergency sword, but we will leave super emergency sword in their glass case. They aren't very nice.
Yeah, let's just save them for later. In that room where your friend, the super emergency sword, is, there was an object, or maybe an object, I don't know what it was, that we're curious about. The spherical red orb thing. Could you tell us anything you know about that? I look specifically at the one who was in that room.
Oh, sure. We are... we have those inside of our bodies.
What is it?
I suppose they're like our hearts?
Oh.
Do you know how it's made? Do you know what it's made of?
No.
Is it going to be okay if I go in there and take the one that was left out?
I believe so.
All right, and then I'm like, quick second, and I huddle the three of us back together, and Timber. I'm like, Timber, get in here. I'm like, all right, game plan. We're gonna go back inside. 1, definitely we should grab that fucking red heart. 2, the rest of those magical items if they're still there. And then 3, definitely just like one more good kind of pass over the collector's room. Obviously, Emil, I imagine there's, anything else you can learn about the unfortunate thing you saw in there.
I got all of the collector's notes, I believe, on the Drees blood from his desk. But there might be something more useful and friends, on a personal level, I'd like to bury the person that's in there.
Oh, yeah, yes, I thought you meant the collector. I was like, I blew his head off. No, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I can help you do that for sure.
Okay.
All right, let's. I would say order of operations. Let's do items first, and then go get the red thing, and then we can deal with everything else.
Let's just split up. I don't think there's any threat left inside the house. I can head to the collector's room if.
Oh wait, there is still threat left inside the house. There are some gray jizzies that are definitely still inside the house.
That's true. Okay, yeah, let's go together. Lü'mis, what are you gonna say?
We could try to herd the ooze for you. Sorry, we were eavesdropping.
They're like
You're
right
already-
behind us.
Yeah, like right next to your ears.
Yeah, that could work if y'all could take care of those first. But stay safe though. I don't want y'all to get hurt too bad.
We have herded them many times before.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you just say herded them?
Yes.
It's adorable.
Go take care of business.
They climb back in through the window, and you see them kind of like, one of them grabs a chair from the dining hall, one of them grabs like the emergency sword from the kitchen, and then the other one's going with their ice cream scoop to go try and herd the ooze.
All right, can we go to the items room first? I think that's the closest room to us right now.
Yes. You all climb back inside through the window that you broke out of, head down the hall past your little mechanical humanoid friends who are kind of like whacking the ooze and pushing them back into their little cabinets that they came from. And it's quite funny looking. Like one of them's like trying to like almost using the chair like a golf club to sort of like hit them and lift them in a certain direction. You all make your way back over to where the items were, though. There are 3 items remaining. There is the crown of like interwoven silver bands. That is the helm of comprehend languages. There is the colorful ropes that sit on a hook, and there is a rope of climbing, and there is a deep green cloak hanging on the wall as well within the boxes, and it is a cloak of elven kind. All 3 of them are still within the glass boxes, and you all can see still that there's no like keyholes or anything, like any way to open them still remains unknown.
Can Lü'mis try to break the glasses that each item is in?
Yes, go ahead and roll an attack roll.
21.
Okay. I think you take your spear and like wind up and just like choo, like crash through all 3 of the boxes that are still remaining, and the glass opens. I mean it shatters. Yeah, like you took your spear head to all 3 of them. It's glass, you know.
I feel that the other 2 were thinking like, oh, do we just stick our hand in do the same thing, just get our hands dirty again? And as they're contemplating what to do, Lü'mis just walks up and hits each glass door with the spear.
You do that, and now you can have access to those items. Do you all grab them?
For sure.
Would y'all mind if I hopped on this comprehend language helm thing?
Yeah, I can't do hats, so go for it.
Sweet.
I don't have the
think I
right
look
head
great
size.
in this
for-
crown.
yeah, you would look good in a crown.
How green is the cloak of elven kind?
It's pretty dark. It's like a dark forest green.
So like in certain light, almost black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
Lü'mis, it looks like if you turn it inside out, it's pretty much black.
If I turn it inside out, is it pretty much black?
We'll say yes. Yeah, the inside lining is like an even darker green color, and you just turn it inside out, and there you go.
That's a really good idea, Emil. This is definitely more my style.
Yeah, of course. Although, green is very complementary to your dark colors. And this way you do have to deal with the Fantasy Haynes tag on the back. But, but yeah, it looks good. I'll take the rope if that's okay, because, Lü'mis, you can walk on walls, and Ellis, you're like magic.
You're like magic.
I am like magic. Thank you.
I'll bag the rope. Yay!
That's what Emil says as he puts the rope in his bag. He goes, "Yay!"
This will make a great inventory for Venzo's varieties. I'm just saying.
Do we want to head back to the collector's room now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, just get the heart and scan the room for anything else of value.
You all head back to the main entryway. Your buddies have kind of pushed the ooze back down that one hallway and tried to put them in their cupboards, and they're now waiting for you all to be done. The ice cream scoop one's still waving at you all as you head into the lift and go upstairs. Upstairs, the suits of armor are still laying inanimate, and you head into the knowledge gained room. And there's definitely a ton of items here that are like peculiar and perhaps worth something. You're not entirely sure. The metal orb with the red blob inside still remains on the armatures that hold it up. There's more glass jars with plant matter. There might be some books of note. You're not really entirely sure. There's a lot to kind of dig through here.
I'll start with the red orb and like throw a sheet over it or something so I don't pick it up with my bare hands. And like wrap it up.
Yeah, you grab a kind of a little blanket or like a little sheet off of a nearby cage that was kind of covering up like skeletal remains of like a bird or something.
Oh, God.
You grab that and wrap the orb up in it, and you now have the orb. It's about like baseball sized, I'd say.
Okay. Lü'mis, do you want to look around for anything valuable or just cool?
Lü'mis would like to look for essentially a bag of holding.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
12.
You find a couple bags scattered around the room, and you're like, oh, this one's a bag of holding for sure. And you start like throwing stuff in it, and it goes up. And then you go to another one, you're like, this one for sure. And you like stick your hand in, and it's just barely like your fist can fit into it. No bag of holding in sight.
I just want to, I imagine that with all these crazy inventions and stuff, and knowing kind of my base level of magic, and magic requires like valuable things to make things happen, so I'm gonna like gemstones, gold, diamonds. Is there any like just money? Is there any just money laying around?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh, that's not very good. That's a 9. Well, still isn't very good. 11 total.
You find two rubies. You find 2 rubies worth 50 gold pieces each, and 1 sapphire worth 50 gold pieces.
Is Timber with us right now?
I'll say yeah, that he kind of followed you all up there, if that's okay with you all.
Yeah, I start looking at the body in the large glass thing, the Drees blood. And as I'm like inspecting it, I'm like, Timber, is there anything in here of interest to you? Anything related to your field? I'm afraid we don't know very much about you. I'm curious, what's of interest to you in here?
I'm kind of just a farmer, so this is all pretty above my head. I do like reading, but these all look pretty dense.
More of a fiction fella?
Oh yeah.
Me too.
As he says, I'm just a farmer. Can I try and read that?
Sure. Go ahead and roll insight.
18 total.
Okay. Yeah, he's out of his element here inside this room. He is very much just a farmer. I think he's feeling like inadequate a little bit, as you all seem to be very capable adventurers at this point. You've like broken into this person's place, you've killed things. And so I think to him, he's like, I'm just a farmer. Like, this is a lot of science doohickeys, and I don't know what's going on.
Well, friend, nothing in this room is gonna be used by anyone else, at least not until this house is, raided by someone in the night. So if you want anything, feel free to grab it. And a very wise friend once told me that I should always carry a dagger. So if you need a dagger, let me know. I have 3 now.
That was me!
Oh, that's very kind. Well, I will take a dagger. I just have my my kind of walking staff.
Here you go.
Okay.
Toss him a dagger.
Well,
Sheathed.
He straps it onto his little belt, and he starts digging around the room with you all to see if he can find anything of note.
Okay, how do I get this body out of this glass?
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check as you're examining this case.
Can I like help him just by like kind of scoping around with him and like helping point out some stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and either roll with advantage or you roll, Ellis.
Thank you for the help. It is a natural 20 for a 23 total.
Okay.
Right.
You're able to see that there does appear to be like a release valve to release the liquid from inside of this. You don't know where the liquid goes necessarily, but there's like a grate at the bottom that when you like hit this switch, assumably the liquid will empty from the case. And then at the top, there seems to be like a latch that you might be able to open. You have to figure out a little bit of like how to get the body out, but that's how you get into this glass.
Okay,
case.
so there's some kind of mechanism for me to drain it, essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that first. I say, everyone take a step back. It's gonna get a little wet in here, I think. I don't know where this liquid's going, but I'm gonna drain it.
You hit the switch and...
Lü'mis, get on the ceiling. Get on the ceiling.
I was just about to say. Yeah, Lü'mis, as soon as you say it's going to get wet in here, just as they're still rummaging through stuff, just climbs up. Assumably there's floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, bookcases, just starts climbing up the bookshelves to the ceiling.
Okay. Yeah, you're on the ceiling. Emil, you hit the switch. It's kind of like a lever to release the liquid from inside of this, and it starts to kind of like vortex around as it drains out. There's like some slight leaking from the bolts and rivets along this glass container, but it appears to just be like draining out somewhere. You don't know if there's intricate plumbing or what, but the liquid is not pouring into the room by any means, and it empties out of the case after 30 seconds or so.
Is the body in there suspended by anything, or does it just kind of sit at the bottom of the tank now?
It's now sitting at the bottom of the tank.
I'll climb in.
Okay. Yeah, you throw the latch on the top and climb inside of it.
I take out my new climbing rope.
Oh.
And use it to hoist this body up and try to climb out with it. Is it heavy? Does it feel like a tree? It's like solid wood?
It feels lighter than you thought it would, given that you would imagine it to be like, oh, this is like a log that I'm carrying, but it almost feels not like fully like a husk, but sort of light wood, almost like balsa wood. So it's not quite as heavy as like oak logs or anything like that. So it kind of catches you off guard with how light it is.
Okay, I'll climb out of the tank and kind of call, Ellis, could you help me with this?
Yeah, you got it.
And I think usually for Emil, he's got so many things that he does to like his appearance or his stance or whatever to like hide certain aspects of himself, and his jacket's been torn to shit and his shirt is all cut up from the great axe from the Minotaur, and he's covered in blood, and just he slept outside last night. So he's just, all those things have kind of fallen away. And I think, Ellis, as you approach, and Lü'mis, from your standpoint, you can see Emil kind of like visibly shaking as he's getting this body out. And he gets out and kind of lays the body down and is just kind of looking at it for a little bit. I'd like to really closely inspect it. is there any, and I think actually Emil probably says this out loud, is there any sign you see, I say to everyone in the room, is there any like semblance of who this person once was? Or is the person gone and the tree is just a tree?
I would like to kind of scan over it as well, being as like respectful as possible, catching the vibes in the room.
Yeah, whoever wants to look over the body, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh shit.
I think that first check I rolled was with a D12.
Oh, no.
Well, oopsies.
19.
15.
Instead of looking at the body, could Lü'mis look around the books to see if the collector had like an inventory spreadsheet or just like a list of the things that they had collected throughout the years?
Sure, yeah. Roll an investigation check for that.
19.
I think Emil and Ellis, as you all scan the body, there is still semblance of, like a figure below this sort of barky exterior, or this like wood exterior. This person hasn't fully turned into a tree. There's still, you can make out like a feminine form for, there's shoulders that go down to like a waist, that go down like what appear to be legs, and this person was probably still able to walk. Like these limbs are separated enough that they would be able to move them, you would think. So there is still humanoid pieces and parts to them. Their face is carved kind of into wood instead of being structured from the wood, I guess.
Are they... I don't want to be too morbid with this. Are they... has rigor mortis kind of set in? Or are they still fluid?
I would say that, like, roll a medicine check.
Okay. Medicine. Is this our first medicine check of the campaign?
Maybe so.
Well, 19.
You know that when somebody dies, that rigor mortis would eventually set in, but oddly, this humanoid doesn't seem to have rigor mortis that set in. It's almost like the wood has become like waterlogged, and like that's how it's kind of been able to like remain fluid. There's a lack of stiffness in this figure that you weren't expecting, perhaps from being in the liquid, perhaps from, you don't know if this person was like alive when they came here or dead already. So there's a lot of still questions like that, but it is shocking to you that it's not as stiff as you would assume it to be.
I'll look up at Ellis, just looking over the body with me, and say, would it be horrible for me to take a sample of their blood?
Dog, I would imagine that... I mean, here, put it like this. You don't know jack shit about what's going on with you. And say if for some fucking terrible twist of fate, you ended up inside of a fucking test tube in some weird nerd's house without ever really finding out maybe what the hell's wrong with you. Would you, give a sort of post-mortem permission to another motherfucker to come along to potentially find out what this stuff is?
Thank you. I'll take the dagger that Ellis convinced me to buy, and just try and make a small incision, maybe like on an arm or something, to see if any like body fluid comes out.
Yeah, you cut into the arm with your 19 medicine check sort of carrying over into this. You know, like loosely, like this is where veins should be, and so you're kind of like cutting into, the, I guess, is that the underside of your arm? I don't know what you would call that. You cut into the underside of this person's arm, and as you cut into it, like an ooze leaks out from it, sort of somewhat like sappy consistency, but a little bit looser, not so thick. It's kind of a little golden, a little green, the hue kind of shifting a little bit. you notice as you're kind of carving into this arm a little bit that there's, at first, it's difficult to cut into. It's sort of thick, like you're cutting into a piece of wood, but then there's a little bit of give as you kind of get deeper into it, as if you're into like the soft fleshy bit of it. There doesn't appear, as you're kind of like holding this, I mean, you're not like thrusting this dagger so far in, but it doesn't appear to be like bones anymore. It just seems to have this like thick, sappy consistency underneath this thick layer of bark, for lack of a better term, I guess.
I'll take a sizable sample of this, whatever jar I can find nearby. Empty it of whatever decrepit, dusty bones or whatever inside of it, and try and collect as much as I can without uncontaminated, and close it up, and also wrap that up in something as well, and stash it.
So Lü'mis, you are looking for any sort of inventory sheet. The collector, I think, was definitely a person who kept all this inventory in their head, so they don't really have inventory sheets of anything. There seems to be categories of different sort of books and different sort of like areas, like where Emil is right now handling this body. That seems to be sort of the plant area where he was like working on. There's more of that plant matter in the jars there, and books that sort of cover that. And then in the area where the red orb was, there's books more about like enchantment magic and things of that nature. There's a whole other area about like world history, so he doesn't really have an inventory, but he did have it sort of categorized into different topics.
Instead of an inventory, does he have a type of journal or diary section? Yes, he has a whole area where all his diaries, day 1, 2, 3. No, I think you all, I imagine at some point maybe leafed through, like very briefly sort of leafed through the tome and those notes that you grabbed, and I think he doesn't really keep diaries, but sort of this is the project he's working on, so all of his thoughts go into that sort of project book. So there's no specific journal or diary, but sort of if he was working on these mechanical humanoids, then all of his thoughts and findings go into a book about that, for instance. Can you remind me, the 2, I think, pages of notes that I found before we actually saw the collector, were they about the mechanical humanoids, or is that the whole tome? Or
the whole tome covers all the mechanical humanoids, as you all sort of loosely went through it. The notes specifically were about the orb.
Right, okay.
If there's nothing else, I'd like to just take this unfortunate soul outside and bury her in the woods, if that's okay. I think it's appropriate.
For sure. I do have a question. So we were tasked to do one thing, just to get this tomb so we can give it to Elizabeth. I think we should give it to Elizabeth, but I think we should fucking read it before we do. But this house seems to be chock-a-block filled with shit that I don't understand, but somebody else probably does. In that, it could be either a great help to this world or a great harm. My gut instinct is right now is saying we leave here, we take the robots with us. Sorry, the mechanical humanoids. What's a robot? And we burn this sucker to the ground. This dude was mad. This dude was like insane.
Yes, and often insanity can lead to some enlightenment for someone. Maybe burning it down, I get it. Perhaps the Academy would appreciate the knowledge that's contained herein,
I just worry that we're going to leave here, and by the time the Academy gets here, the court or some other nefarious group comes along and they figure out some. I don't know. I see your point too. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of good research in here. I worry about the harm that somebody might be able to do with it. What do you think, Lü'mis?
Yeah, Lü'mis, what do you think?
I mean, I'm down to burn it. Also, I feel like if this information was actually for the greater good, wouldn't they have shared it in the first place?
Yeah, it kind of goes against his whole name. He's not called the sharer. He's called the collector. I don't know.
I mean, most of his stuff that he has on books are new things. The new things were the orb that we have information on and what's in the tome. I feel like we have already in our possession the new knowledge to share. The rest on this history and plants, I think the library would have stuff on it already.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. I love a proper ending with knowledge gained. We have that. Maybe it's... What's one more thing we burn down in our wake, you know?
Scorched earth. Alright, well, then let's fucking get out of this shitty house. Everybody cool with that?
Before we do, Lü'mis would like to just make one last scan of anything else that might be of note.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
That will be an 18.
I think you look through all of the different bookshelves and you're kind of like looking for different topics and things that might be helpful for you or just helpful to like put the connections together of like what's going on here with the collector. There are 4 books that sort of stand out to you. These were all sort of near the area of where the orb was, so kind of on the desk, maybe open, maybe closed, but in that general area. There are 4 books that stand out, though. One's called What's in a Soul?
That's a cookbook.
The next one, How to Animate the Inanimate. The next one is Necromancy and You.
A classic.
Thank God Destiny went back and looked at these. I spent so much time coming up with these titles. And the last one stands out to you as weird to be clumped with these other ones because these other ones it's like, oh, soul, animation, necromancy, like these are all kind of connected with these living things. And the last one is called Time Lost. And you find that to be weird to be sitting on this desk with other things. And you kind of you can look at the back covers of them to sort of, or you know, you kind of try and figure out like what's the summary of each of these. What's in a Soul is the deep dive into understanding what it means to be more than just alive. How to
Okay, sorry.
Chicken soup for the
Chicken soup.
Yeah. The next one, How to Animate the Inanimate, is a dense, arcane textbook on advanced enchantment. Necromancy in You is a look at necromancy through a different lens, movement of life from one source to another. And Time Lost is speculation surrounding the era of the lost. Which, when you look at that, I think, Lü'mis, you maybe even speak it out like, era of the lost. This is an era that none of you have really heard about. This is like probably very old history that there's a lot of speculation around, but that maybe you don't know too much about, and maybe a lot of people don't know too much about.
Lü'mis, whenever they were looking for a bag of holding, just the biggest bag that they ended up finding, they put these 4 books in.
4 books, you can handle that. If us middle schoolers were handling, 6 or 7 books in our backpacks, you can do 4 books, Lü'mis.
What's middle school?
Yeah, I know, it's been a while for you, bud. All right, shall we get out of this house?
Yeah, do you want help, Emil, digging?
Absolutely, I do.
Alright, well.
I don't want to do all this
go.
work alone. I know this is my quest, but I'm not doing it by myself.
You all notice that Timber has grabbed like a couple of things. Like he has like a golden goblet that he's grabbed.
Great.
And like a couple textbooks about the seasons and like farmers' almanacs, almost that kind of thing. So he was able to find things that would help him farm better.
All right, let's go gather our new friends, and let's go do this thing. Hey y'all, it's Alex. Sorry to interrupt. Just a little mid-episode ad break here. We wanted again thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We put a lot of effort into this, and the fact that you're still sticking around with us to episode 22, it means the world, honestly. If you have a moment, if you could share this podcast on your social media, whatever one, we're definitely not picky, and also rate if you can. Whatever podcast app you're using. If you're using Apple Podcasts, try to write something. That really helps us push us to the top. You know what I'm saying? Move over, popular podcasts. We're coming in. You can also follow us at TCGD Pod on Instagram and TikTok. We got a lot of cool things cooking up. If you've followed us, you've seen character art. Are you kidding me? Character art. We'd like to thank at Enzo Art. That's ENZOO Art. For doing this work for us. It's amazing. Well, anyway, don't want to keep you for very long. Let's get back to the episode.
You all head back downstairs, head back to the main lobby, or main entrance hall where the mechanical humanoids are waiting for you all. All 7 of you head out through the window again, still unsure how to open the front door. And you all head out away from the chateau. It's about early afternoon. It's a day and a half's travel back to Mistfall, so you can probably get half of a day's travel in as you all head down the path back to the main road that heads back to Mistfall. Is there anything you all do on this trek?
Before we leave the place, I look at everyone and go,
wait.
Aren't we
We
supposed
have to bury the body.
bury the body and then burn the house?
Yes, very important things to do here.
You all are walking, and then you're like, wait, we forgot. You turn back around and just
it doesn't need to be deep, especially considering that this person is mostly wood. I'll maybe, a couple feet, 2 or 3 feet deep, knowing that we're in some rich woods. And I take the time to do that, and look over at Lü'mis when I finish and say, Does Dodathal have anything to say at the end of someone's life?
Probably.
Not sure.
Why don't you say a few words, Emil?
Well, I don't know this person. But whatever they did in life, they didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve this house. They didn't deserve this affliction. They deserved so much more. And I'm sorry. And I'll fix it.
Is there a cheesy line in What's in a Soul?
Go ahead and roll just an intelligence check as you're kind of quickly trying to skim through it.
Lü'mis is not that smart. Oh, 19.
You find this line that's like, a soul does not need a body to live on, perhaps?
As Emil finishes his sentiment, you just see Lü'mis, book open, looks up, and says, a soul doesn't need a body or something, perhaps.
That was beautiful, Lü'mis.
Oh my god. Couldn't have said it better myself. But I do like this body, though. I say to this guy, I do want to keep this one, minus all the wood. So,
who are you talking to?
I thought you were talking to God or something. I don't know.
I was just reading from this book.
I'm having second thoughts about burning down the house.
I don't even know how to burn down a house this large. Do you?
We just have torches. I imagine you've never burned down a house before.
No, bud. I can't say that I have.
I mean, you just set it on fire. Oh man, I don't know. I'm stuck at an impasse. I mean, my thing is who knows? Maybe even the court finding some of this stuff, it still could be beneficial to the world in a grand sort of way.
I'm neither here nor there. If we burn it down, we can be held liable for any damage that comes because of that. if we leave it, we cannot be held liable for things that happen because of that. We've done our job. We've done our part here. We've killed a man and some oozes and some, machines, and it's time for us to move on, is how I feel.
I say burn it.
Timber, what do you think about this, buddy?
Well, I'm just a little guy who's a farmer.
That's fair. Okay, sorry. I feel like we're
I guess I'm worried that if you burn it, that it'll start a forest fire, and only you can prevent forest fires.
That's a good point, Timber. I'm sorry, Timber. I feel like we've really overwhelmed you since meeting you. I mean, we did rescue you, but I think we've hit you with this.
I'm very thankful for.
Are you hungry?
But I feel.
Do you want some food?
Oh no, I had the keys. You guys didn't eat your keys.
Okay.
You were busy kind of doing some other stuff.
Yeah.
I had the keys. It was delicious.
Okay, great.
Okay, I think I'm changing my stance. Let's just leave the fucking house here. I don't want to let's just...
It's not our problem. We got other things to do.
Robot buddies? I mean, mechanical humanoid buddies?
Is our name Robots now?
Yes, God. Yes, it is.
We'll hang on that. It's just something that kind of came to me. I just made it up.
Robots.
Yeah.
Robots. They all just start saying robots.
Look, I think it's like midday right now. Probably travel till nightfall and we camp out and we'll probably make it back to Mistfall by the end of tomorrow night. So we should probably head out.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. And everybody, your gang much larger. There's 3 of you to start. There's 4 of you now. You head down the road back towards Mistfall. Is there anything that you all do on your trek?
Just keep an eye out for the court. They said they would catch us outside of Mistfall. I don't know if they meant on this side of Mistfall or after we got back.
I think probably as we're walking, as it's probably getting close to sundown golden hour. I imagine we're all just kind of making small talk and asking the robot some questions and talking to Timber and stuff. And I think at one point I go and stand next to Emil as we're walking. And I go, "How you doing, bud?"
I feel I may have overshared yesterday.
About what?
About my associates in Vensor.
You mean your family?
Hey, chill.
Why chill?
Because there are people watching us. We are always in danger now. Do you realize that? And by divulging the identity of my family to you, I have put them in danger. Not because of you, but by virtue of our nature of work now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can definitely see your concern there. But I don't know. I don't want you to think you overshared. I think sharing's important, and I think we've spent a lot of time together after being kidnapped, thrown in a cave, and I don't know. I'm happy you shared that with us. I mean, secret's safe with me.
Thank you. I do recall a promise you made me. If I ever told you who my associates were, you would divulge what's going on in Honeyguard. Why are you here? I'm joking with you, Ellis. You don't have to tell me anything. It's not pertinent, especially. You don't have to tell me, but
I mean, we're just walking. I mean, I don't think you believe me. I think you think that there's something real nefarious going on with me. But I was born in Honeyguard, and to kind of sum it up, I kind of fucked off for first 18 years of my life, and I got kicked out, and now I'm here. I can go into the sob story details of it all, but that's really it. I'm just some dude who doesn't really have a home. Well, I guess I do. I guess I can go back, but my dad said I had to prove myself or some shit. I don't even know anymore. It's been so long. But I guess the reason why I wanted to talk to you was, look, I don't really have like a job or like a steady source of reliable income, and you do. And you also mentioned that, me and Lü'mis could potentially be employees of Venzor's Varieties, and I don't really know what kind of fucking services I could really offer you, and I know I like to joke around a lot and fuck around, and that's usually just a defense mechanism, but I just wanted you to know, like, I heard what you said in there. If something ever happens to you, I just want you to know I'll go to Venzor. And I'm not saying I'll take, I'm sure your associates can probably handle things, but I don't know, I'll go there and help.
If something ever happens to me, you put my ass in the ground, you go to Venzor, and you tell my family that I died in some heroic way, trying to grow the business. And you speak nothing of the Drees blood. And, yeah, I think there's plenty of jobs at Venzor's Varieties, especially in acquisitions. You have multiple items on you I, as a businessman, would purchase from you to sell. You and Lü'mis are very valuable. I don't know what's wrong with Honeyguard or your family. Ellis, you are very valuable. You are an asset.
Thanks, bud. I never really thought about myself that way. They don't know, do they? Your associates.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Done. You will die. What do you think? Tackling like a dragon into a volcano mouth, or punching a giant in the tummy real hard. Like,
no. Kara doesn't care about anything like that. It's more like in my attempts to close a big deal with an unnamed business person, I stepped on the feet of, another big business in town, and they saw me as a threat and had to take me out.
Ooh, like a you got snuffed out assassination. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I don't know. Weird times, weird stuff. But yeah, dog, you're not going anywhere yet. We're gonna figure out what's wrong with your fucking wood body and this Drees blood and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to turn into that.
I think we just kind of walk in silence for a little while.
You hear Timbers trying to talk with these robots, just asking them questions and trying to teach them things. I think as they're all walking behind you all, the robots are pretty amazed by like everything that they're seeing. Like, oh wow, well, they don't talk like that, but like, oh wow, trees, dirt, rock, leaf, bird, and Timber's just like pointing these things all out, like twig, tree, rock, leaf, sky, cloud, sun, and they're learning all what these things all are. They've probably like heard of these things maybe in passing, but to really see them in front of them, it's all brand new to them.
I walk up to Lü'mis and I'm like, it probably goes without saying that I don't think your stealthiness is probably not going to benefit you while we have these little buddies with us.
I feel as you say that, you're actually talking to no one, because Lü'mis has his, the cloak and then has the hood on. And apparently, while I have the cloak on, the cloak color shifts to camouflage me. I don't know. Is that
what does the cloak of Elvenkind do?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it says while you...
I know it silences your footsteps.
It says while you wear this cloak with its hood up, wisdom checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide as the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you.
It's like a ghillie suit.
Yeah. You're walking around one of those big fuzzy ghillie suits.
The only reason to play PUBG. The only reason to play PUBG.
Only reason is to drive a car with 4 people in it, all wearing ghillie suits.
Absolutely. But yes, I imagine that you're not like invisible by any means, but I think maybe Ellis can't tell, depth perception wise, like where exactly you are. Kind of like a trick of forced perspective of like, oh, I thought you were here, but you're over there, and I can't really tell where you're at a little bit.
I think you're, Lü'mis, I think you're there. You're kind of creeping me out more than usual. Lü'mis?
Lü'mis pulls their hood down, and I feel like you're just like, ah! Because you're looking to your left and they're on your right or something like that.
Oh, God. All right, well, you're going to be fine stealth-wise. I guess the other 6 of us are just die. Or 5 of us. God, there's so many of us now.
We all die eventually, so.
Yeah. Do you like traveling with all these new friends?
Not particularly.
Great. We should find some camp.
As you say, like, I don't particularly like having all these people. You just see Timber, like, walk up, like, and, like, look up, and you're like, and then goes back to talking with the robots.
I imagine that. I was like, let's not try to push ourselves. I think we really fucked ourselves up over the past, few days. Let's camp. Let's get a good night's rest in. Let's take some watches. Let's stay on high alert.
Yeah, we have 3 built-in alarms, basically, if we just spread these mechanical or the robots out, around the campsite.
That's a good ass idea.
I mean, I'm gonna stay up as well anyway. I'm not going to sleep right now without someone on watch.
Oh, we should read that book.
We gotta know what it says.
We should. Okay. Robot friends.
Yes, robot friends reporting in.
So, you remember how I said that the world outside can be mean sometimes?
Yes, they all lift their emergency swords.
Loving it. Loving what I'm seeing right now. Well, the meanest I feel that times get is when the sun goes down. This is nighttime.
Nighttime.
Usually, when you're outside during nighttime, it's good to periodically... Yeah, do y'all need to go to sleep?
No.
Great. Even better. So I think what would help for your kind of first night out in the real world, we establish a sort of a triangular perimeter with the 3 of y'all. We'll keep watch as well, but y'all kind of keep watching the night. If anything comes up and sneaks up on us, holler and pull out your emergency swords, and we'll be right there with you because we have some stuff we want to look over. Is that cool?
Yes, we will do what we can. You have given us freedom, so we will protect you.
That sounds very cool when you said that to me. Cool. Well, y'all go get set up. And if y'all need anything, just holler.
You see them kind of stomp through the woods, heading to make a little triangular perimeter. They're not really all-terrain robots by any means, so they're kind of tripping over twigs and logs and stuff. One of them like fully face plants and then makes its way back up, standing upright, and then you can see them sort of just standing at their post, looking out into the woods.
Do you need me to do anything? I don't mind keeping watch.
Well, you said you're a farmer, right?
Yeah.
Are you good at, living off the land? Could you collect us some food?
Oh, I could go get his food, absolutely.
That'd be great. You have your dagger?
I do. He pulls it out.
All right.
Stabs himself.
I look forward to dinner.
Timber goes out to look and forage for some food while leaving you all at the camp.
Shall we read this book? We should at least know the gist of it before we give it away.
Definitely. Let's look over it. Who amongst us is the best at interpreting, reading, and stuff?
I love books, but I'm not very smart.
Can't you use your new crown?
Well, that's really only if it's in a strange language that I can't read. But if it's in normal language, it's just kind of up to me.
Well, I mean, it might be very technical, same language, but more technical verbiage that you might not quite comprehend.
Maybe we can take turns doing read-alouds.
Popcorn style.
Yeah, popcorn style.
All right, I'll go first, and I will attach the crown to my head, and I will flip open the book.
While the others are reading, could I use my calligrapher's supplies to take notes on what is being read out loud
Nice.
in my journal?
Absolutely. All three of you will just do. All three of you do an intelligence check as you're starting to look through and speak out loud.
As I take the book from Ellis for my turn, I say, "All right, this isn't the kind of reading I'm used to. Any words of inspiration, Ellis?"
Focus up, nerd. You get a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
17.
13.
I think this is all making sense to you all as you're reading through it and speaking it out loud and to each other. It's very dense. You know, there's a lot of math. There's a lot of science involved. There's physics. There's biology. There's all kinds of like calculations throughout all these pages. Speculative enchantment, magic, and how things might work. There's scribbled notes throughout the tome as well of like, oh, tried this today, it didn't work, or we made progress teaching these mechanical humanoids like such and such. But looking through the tome, it has complex diagrams showing the metal orb, how it's built, and the sort of structure of it. There are many diagrams showing the mechanical humanoids, full diagrams of their limbs and how they work, sort of where are the attachments, how does the mechanism work to get them to be able to move. There's full diagrams of their torso and how movement throughout their body works and how the orb in the center sort of powers their body. It's all a bit above your head, but this tome is the collector's life's work. He spent day and night researching and developing these mechanical humanoids you can put together from just looking through this very large tome. And this tome could very well be a way for someone else to create these too, is what you're gathering. So you assume that this is the book that you were supposed to get, the tome after all of this is what you're supposed to get, what they were looking for, and that whoever the benefactor is that wants this book from the Court of Outlaws is probably interested in making these mechanical humanoids as well.
I know this looks like a how-to guide, and that putting it into the hands of the Court of Outlaws and whoever their benefactor is, that may be worrisome. But I really have to be honest, this doesn't change anything for me personally. I'm out here to get better and to go home. And if this is one more step towards freedom from the Court of Outlaws, I still think we should give it to them.
I 100% agree. Look, I couldn't, there's probably like a moral dilemma here, but the Court of Outlaws will fucking kill us. They almost did.
Yeah, we should just go with it. Like you said, this was the job we had. Was there anything in the book about how to destroy them? I know I killed one, but assuming they're gonna make more powerful ones.
Yeah, what does it say about, is it just getting to that orb in the middle, or is there any component that's, more essential than the others?
There doesn't seem to be any sort of, emergency shut-off or, hit them in the back of their ankle and they'll fall over and die. It seems to be that the way they're constructed is to kind of, at all costs, protect that orb. Just like the human body is to protect the heart, their bodies were created to protect that orb at the center of their body. So you assume either tearing them apart so that way their head's gone or their arms are gone and all that's left is the torso, they can't do much without the rest of their limbs to move around. That's one way, or the other way would be to crush the orb inside.
Becky, what we've read so far, does it say how to obtain / create the orb, or is that the notes that I got?
There's some notes within the tome about that, but the notes that you have mostly cover that specifically. I think perhaps he kind of was working on adapting this orb more and more. He had maybe created, who knows what's inside these robots that are with you, what kind of orb or what state they're in, because it's kind of buried deep within their metal bodies. But the notes that you have are sort of the more like advanced orb creation. So there's definitely some level of like, here's how I put energy into these, and these are how they like are moving around. But the more like advanced notes he seemed to kind of like keep separate from that tome. Maybe was working on like a second tome about this sort of science.
And my notes that I have they're not ripped out or anything. They're just completely separate. Like, it doesn't look like anything's missing from this tome. It looks like a complete book.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
These are separate notes.
I don't know how much more I'm gonna gain out of this, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm kind of tired. I'm kind of beat. Should we call it for the night?
Yeah, I can take the first watch, Lü'mis, if you want to do your black circle.
I'm fine. I don't need to.
Okay.
I was planning to stay up and read.
Gotcha. I'll stay up with you so you can read, and I can keep a watch, and I'll wake Ellis up for the next watch.
Ellis, you kind of go to bed after maybe checking on the triangular setup for the perimeter. Timber comes back and makes up a little stew of mushrooms that he was able to find, and Emil and Lü'mis, you all set up to start the first watch, and that's where we'll end tonight.
Whew, so much going on.
Those poor little robots. No home.
Knowledge gained, am I right?
Hey, this could get dicey.
There you go. That almost quite good.
You can find This Could Get Dicey where all podcasts are streamed and on Instagram and TikTok at TCGDpod. If you found our antics enjoyable, help us out by leaving a rating and or review, maybe even share it with a friend. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for our next episode coming out Wednesday, September 13th.